Kasama natin ngayon ang isang kilalang panauhin dito sa The 700 Club Asia. Ilang beses na rin siyang lumabas sa ating show on the Telethon especially. Please welcome Miss Universe 1999 first runner-up, Miriam Kiambao. Hi, Miriam.
Hi, Mary. Thank you for having me here.
Good to have you back again. Suki ng Telethon.
Suki.
and more, no?
Always a joy to share.
Miriam, we just saw that video before the break of Pastor Jonathan na napaka-moving ng kanyang dinaanan. Ano? And such a painful experience. And yet, Pastor Jonathan found freedom in forgiveness. Is it possible that someone like you, with your background, may be very different from Pastor Jonathan's, that you've also experienced freedom from unforgiveness?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had experiences of unforgiveness with my parents, having grown. Although I would consider myself a good kid because I was quite disciplined, hindi naman ako masyadong rebelde. Pero when I was a teenager, and you know, in the stage of puberty, minsan meron kang mga concepts about your parents that are not necessarily true, but it's just ano lang yun, parang pananaw mo lang. So habang lumalaki ako, parang pakiramdam ko, meron akong mga angst na feeling ko hindi ako pinalaki ng mga magulang ko in the way that I would prefer myself to be brought up. May mga ganon.
We know better, di ba?
We know better
than our
I
parents,
thought
right?
I knew better. And then, nung nagkaroon ako ng boyfriend in my late teens until early 20s. And I realized he also had bitterness with her. And this is looking back, he also had bitterness against his own mother. Parang napasa niya sa akin yung idea na yun about my own mother because my mom is a career woman.
Okay.
And so is his mom. And he's been bitter with that. So, dahil he was much older than me, so pinaniwalaan ko siya with what he said. So looking at my parents, sabi ko, my mom is a career woman. My dad also didn't have enough time to take care of us because he was always out working. Parang nirealize ko, during that time, akala ko, they didn't love us enough. So growing up, I had bitterness against them. I didn't honor my parents enough. Until I have come to the realization na they really did love me. It's just so happened na iba yung naging interpretation ko, and then the influence from another loved one also affected the way I saw my parents. So yes, I also experienced bitterness and unforgiveness with my parents, but thank God that ever since I got to know him, experience this love and freedom that I have with him, I've come to forgive my parents for what I thought they did to me. Or hindi naman din sila siguro perfect, no? But I've come to forgive them, and I've asked for forgiveness also for not having honored them in my youth. And now, because I've received a command from God, we've all received a command from God to honor our parents and obey them in everything. I'm really taking steps to get to know my parents more and have that relationship and bonding with them more. And I really had to humble myself as well, especially towards my mom. For a long time, marami kaming may mga conflicts kami growing up. Pero now, I find that because of how God has changed me and how God has changed my heart, I'm really becoming more parang obedient, I hope, to my own parents out of my love for God, as well as God is really just transforming my relationship with my own parents and within my own family. It's just so amazing how God has affected my life.
What's jumping out at me, kasi dati tayo, I was in the same place, no, was in-expect natin sila ang magbago. Hindi kailangan sila muna magbago.
Yes.
But in your case, and mine as well, it came from you first. You changed because of what God did in you, and that gave you a different perspective of your parents.
Yeah, exactly. I had different eyes before, but now that God has given me a new set of eyes, I can see that they really love me. Iba lang maaari yung pamaraan, iba lang maaari yung mga words na sinasabi, pero if I look through the eyes of love from God and the Spirit in my heart, nakikita ko na mahal ako ng nanay ko.
Parang ang
Nilaki ng
taas-taas
mga
kasi ng
magulang ko.
expectations natin sa magulang
Exactly,
natin.
oo.
Which is not a bad thing, but on the other hand, let's be realistic. Tao rin
Yes,
sila. No?
tao rin sila.
You just came from, well, not just came from literally, but you just come out of shooting another spectacular, I know it's going to be spectacular, I've heard already about it, the latest CBN Asia Holy Week drama thriller, which is Tanikala 3. Anong papel mo doon? For those who might have no idea at all.
I'm playing the character, actually a true-to-life character of Gory Mendoza. Isa siyang probinsyana na lumaking insecure, but because of her insecurities, nagkaroon siya ng mga pangarap na gusto niyang magkaroon ng power or gusto niyang magkaroon ng influence para maiba yung paningin sa kanya ng mga magulang niya at saka yung mga kapitbahay niya. So, at one point, dahil sa pagnais ng ganito, parang iba yung ibang espiritu ang nakarinig sa kanya, hindi galing from God. And nung lumapit sila sa albularyo, ang sabi ng albularyo, yung mahal na senyor na Nazareno ang makakatulong sa kanya. So, nagpunta siya sa simbahan, pero parang maling tipo ng worship ang ginawa niya dahil inidolo niya yung mismong figure,
Rebulto.
yung mismong rebulto ng Nazareno and not what it's supposed to represent, which is God, no, which is Jesus. And sa pagdadasal niya, iba ang nakarinig sa kanya, kaya sinapian siya ng demonyo.
So, pwede pala mangyari yun. Very challenging ang role mo dito. Sinapian ka ng tao, ng mga demonyo. Have you ever actually experienced demonic possession? Have you seen it in other people?
I have not seen demonic possession, but I have experienced demonic condemnation and demonic, anong tawag
Yung
doon?
mga pagbulong-bulong, no?
Yeah,
yung mga
binubulong-bulong
yung oppression.
ko.
No?
The
Yung tinatawag na
oppression,
oppression,
exactly.
oo.
Kakwento ko ba?
Sure, sure.
Well, there was a time when I was married but was unhappy. I was experiencing depression and a lot of anxiety. And my ex-husband and I were having major problems. And there came a point when I heard a voice telling me na lahat ng mga calamity sa buong mundo, during that time, katatapos lang ng earthquake sa Aceh, nagkaroon ng tsunami, etc. So, ang sabi sa akin nung boses na yon, lahat ng mga problema sa buong mundo, yung earthquake sa Aceh, yung tsunami, yung pagputok ng pinatubo, lahat yan galing sa mga kasalanan mo.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ang bigat namang responsibilidad ko ngayon. Tapos sabi niya, kaya mabuti pa, patayin mo na sarili mo para matapos na mga kasalanan mo at hindi na mangyayari itong lahat ng to sa buong mundo. So, I was very disturbed at hindi ko alam kung ano bang dapat because I feel that God has given me compassion and love for other people. Pero kung papatayin ko sarili ko, parang hindi tama. And then suddenly, I heard this small voice in my heart. And I knew it was the Holy Spirit telling me, if you kill yourself, it's not love. So, yon, buti na lang. Doon ako nakinig. Doon ako nakinig.
The still small voice.
That still small voice. And the oppression went on for a number of years, even after I got separated. Sabi pa sa akin ng enemy, hindi ka natatanggapin sa heaven, ganyan. Ang laki ng kasalanan mo, hindi ka natatanggapin. And fortunately, in 2008, I finally found God.
Praise the Lord.
But you know, God has been faithful because even though I was in oppression, even though I was in depression and experiencing all these problems, the fact that the Holy Spirit told me that if I kill myself, it was not like, it was a testimony of how God really does not forsake us, even when we're at our lowest.
That's right. That's right. Well, your experience of oppression, siguro your character here, i-multiply natin by how many times?
Iba kasi ito sinasaniban
Can you tell us what's that like for you? I mean, you're having to act this out. It must have been very taxing sa'yo.
Physically, yes, it was taxing. But, you know, I really felt like we were, the blood of Christ was really protecting us, all the cast, all the crew, and the whole location. Because even though it was physically taxing for me, parang somehow I felt energized pa rin at the end of the day because I knew that I was doing this for God. It was my spirit that was giving me that energy. it was God's Spirit that was giving me the energy.
Of course, this has a happy ending. Eh.
Of course
Yung
it
Tanikala
does.
has a happy ending. Oh. Pero huwag natin ikwento. Pero
Manood na lang
it's
kayo.
based on a real life testimony. Talagang may taong, di ba? This was a real person who went through all of this. And did you get the chance to meet her by any chance? No?
No, I didn't get to meet her. Pero nabalitaan ko lang yung mga kwento about her.
I'll give you an
I can
opportunity.
only imagine what it was like.
Invite mo ng ating viewers panoorin ng Tanikala Street.
Iniimbitahan po namin kayo na panoorin ng Tanikala, ikatlong aklat. 3 araw po yan, April 21, 22, and 23. Yung episode ko po, Panata, lalabas sa April 23, 5 to 6 p.m. sa Channel 7 po, GMA 7.
Okay. So mark your calendars and be sure to watch Miriam Cambao in her first lead role and her most challenging acting stint yet. Tanikala, ikatlong libro. Hango po ito sa totoong buhay ni Goring Mendoza ng Batangas. Mapapanood nga ngayon, Semana Santa, Biyernes, alas 5 ng hapon sa GMA Channel 7. Once again, thank you very much, Miriam. I heard you did an excellent job on the show.
Nako, thank God. Thank God for, all glory to God talaga because He's the one that supplied me with the emotions, the talent, and the energy.